Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Timmy Treacle, also known as Horror Fan for Life, and this evening I am bringing you a very special ranking. I've seen a lot of people on their YouTube channels, especially those who are horror fans, do this ranking. It's going to be my ranking of all 31 movies from three of the most iconic horror franchises of all time. And that is Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th. My personal favorite franchise is Friday the 13th. Anyone who knows me knows that. Um, but it took me a little bit to put this list together. I had to wait to watch the new Halloween movie that came out last year. I was finally able to watch it. And so now I can do and talk about this ranking. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's get this list started. I'm not going to talk about every movie on this list because I don't want to make a long video, but I will talk about some here or there. Uh, Coming in at number 31 is Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. For those who know me, and know my distaste for this movie, it is one big pile of crap. It does have a cult following, which I don't quite understand. But regardless, this movie is just the bottom of the garbage pile when it comes to these three franchises. Coming in at number 30 is A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. I know some out there love this movie. I cannot stand this sequel. This sequel, to me, I think, was rushed. The script is god awful. The acting is atrocious. Even Robert Englund couldn't save this movie, in my opinion. They rushed this movie. Why? Because the other two franchises were just reeling out movie after movie and they were making money. So this was all about wanting to make more money and cash grabs. So they rushed the sequel out, and it's just mind-numbing how just I can't wrap my head around this is why people like this sequel. Uh, the special effects were bad. The characters, the acting, everything about this movie was just garbage. And that's why it comes in at number 30. Number 29 is Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Number 28 is Jason X. Um, Jason X is another example of a movie, just a bad script. Jason in space, just a terrible idea. Uh, some of the kills were okay, but uh, the one kill that I really enjoyed is when the girl gets her face frozen and he smashes it on the countertop. That was an awesome kill. Has some cheesy dialogue, and yeah, it's a bad movie. The first like 10-15 minutes when they're still at the Camp Crystal Lake Research, that was actually decent. Uh, and then Jason as a regenerized form of himself was kick-ass, but it's a bad movie. So that's why it comes in at number 28. Number 27 is Halloween Resurrection. Everyone knows me. They know I hate this movie. Buster Rhymes doing kung fu on Michael Myers is just ridiculous. Now, had he just fought him regularly, with fisticuffs, it would have been fine. I actually probably would have enjoyed this movie a little bit more than I did. There was a couple of good kills. Thomas Ian Nichols taking the knife to the forehead or the top of his head was good. But we didn't get to see Tyra Banks kill. She was killed off screen. Uh, it had a good story. It could have been a really good movie. Uh, But I don't like what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis. I wish she wasn't involved in this movie. Uh, Actually, I wish this movie wasn't even made, but because it just ruined H 20 years, you know, especially that ending. But Resurrection, along with the other movies I have spoken about, are all garbage. Uh, and yeah, that's about it about those. Number 26 is Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. This is more of a horror comedy. With this movie and Season of the Witch, they stirred away from the main antagonist, although in A New Beginning, they still used his likeness, but it wasn't actually him doing the killings. It was the ambulance driver, of course. He wanted revenge. But they tried to do something new with these franchises, which I commend them on, but it was a big mistake. And ultimately, they had to bring back the main antagonist because it pissed a lot of fans off. Now, had Season of Witch been a anthology, I think it would have been all right, but still, they went away from Myers and, of course, now Jason. And it just didn't work. Number 25 is A Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Child. Number 24 is Jason Goes to Hell. Number 23 is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I like this sequel. The only thing I didn't like about it was the whole ghost, the horse, and a young Michael and his mom's ghost. I didn't like that, but I like the kills. And the story was decent, but it was okay. It was a decent sequel. I just didn't like the whole ghost thing. Coming in at number 22 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This, I actually really enjoyed the sequel. I loved the ending. Although you did have an annoying character in the movie. Y'all know who she is. Although she did protect Jamie, though, in the end, which was commendable. She was a really good final girl. I just didn't like that one scene when she was dancing around being annoying. And I didn't like Jamie's character being a mute. I didn't like that at all. I like the fact that she knew where he was and all that, but I didn't like her as a mute. It just didn't work. But I would still really enjoy this movie, and like I said, I really love the ending too. It sets up the curse of Michael Myers really well. Coming in at number 21 is Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This movie doesn't take place in Manhattan except for the last 25 minutes. There are some good kills in this movie. The best being when Jason knocks Julius's head off on the roof. That was badass. Kane Hodder is badass as Jason. My personal favorite part is when he's in Manhattan and those punks are listening to their radio and he walks by and just kicks it and they threaten him and he just lifts up his mask and they take off. It's just hysterical. This is a guilty pleasure. I do watch this one at least once a year because I think Kane Hodder is the best version of Jason Voorhees. Coming in at number 20 is Friday the 13th, Part 7. I love Tina's character. I love the fact that she gets to go one-on-one with Jason. She's a really good final girl. I really wish they would have killed Nick off there because I liked Tina going back and forth with Jason. Kane Hodder as Jason in this movie is just fantastic. A lot of good kills. My personal favorite is when he um, punches the boyfriend in the back and then snaps his neck. And then ultimately he goes and plays baseball with the girl in the sleeping bag, which was badass too. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 7 comes in at number 20. Number 19 is Halloween Age 20, or 20 years later. Number 18 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, The New Nightmare. You have number 17, I have Freddy vs. Jason. This movie delivered everything I wanted. I was so psyched for this. Went to the theater to watch this movie with friends. This is fantastic. And we all know Jason won. But this was a lot of fun. The only thing I didn't like about this movie, and it pissed a lot of people off, is they didn't have Kane Hodder as Jason. If you're going to bring Robert Englund in to play Freddy, you got to bring Kane Hodder in to play Jason. That's just all there is to it. And it's nothing against that Canadian stuntman. I'm sure he's good at what he does, but he wasn't that good of a Jason. He did. There was, like I said, there's some great kills, but he just, in my opinion, just didn't fit or look right, in my opinion. But I still really enjoy the movie. I'm glad we got it, and it comes in, like I said, at number 17. Number 16 is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. This is the end of the Thorn trilogy, which is parts 4, 5, and 6. We find out the question behind Michael's madness and why he's got to kill every member of his family to lift the curse. But the thing I really love about this movie is Paul Rudd, and this is Donald Pleasence's last movie, and it sucks because no one could play Loomis better than Donald Pleasence. And it's no offense to Malcolm McDowell because I like what he did, but he's no Donald Pleasence. No one is. And this is a great, I love this Halloween sequel. I love the director's cut too. Some people don't like this is either a love or a hate. I love it. And I think it's a perfect ending to the Thorn trilogy. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I watch this one every year. Number 15 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Master. Number 14 is Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake from 2010, starring Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger, which he did a great job. Some of the actors in this movie threw in the towel, didn't really care about their performances, which I think is really sad because Jackie Earle Haley gave a hell of a performance as Freddy Krueger. Even Robert Englund said he loved his performance as Jackie, and he thinks that he should get another shot at playing Freddy if they do, in fact, make another movie. And I agree. If he doesn't get to do it, my recommendation as the new Freddy Krueger is Kevin Bacon. I would love to see Kevin Bacon as Freddy Krueger. I really think he could be demented and evil and just twisted. I really think he could do that. But yeah, I like this remake. I love what they did. They changed it up a little bit because he was a bit of a pedophile. People don't want to admit that, but he was a pedophile. That's why he liked the kids. Even though they didn't go to great lengths to explain that in the original movie from 1984, but he was a pedophile. He was, in my opinion. Coming in at number 13 is Halloween 2018. I did a review for this movie on my channel. You should be able to find and check that out. I thought it was good. I believe I gave it a 7 out of 10. I love the three leading ladies, Curtis Greer and the granddaughter. The kills were really good. But there are some things we didn't get to see, like the bus crash. We didn't get to see that. We didn't get to see the kill when he ripped the guy's teeth out, which I'm sure the MPAA had a fit about that they weren't going to allow us to show that, which is stupid. But there was a couple other things too that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that we had another doctor. As far as the character in this movie, we don't need another doctor. If you've seen the damn movies, you know Michael's twisted and evil. We don't need a doctor to explain it or have anything to do with it. Although I was happy when he was killed in the movie, but we just didn't need him in the movie. But like I said, it comes in the middle of the pack as far as the Halloween franchise goes. But number 13, it's a very nice spot for that one. Coming in at number 12 is Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I love what he did with this movie. We got to see more of Michael's backstory in life when he was a middle schooler. And, he started out killing animals and then he moved on. And we get to see some other things we didn't get to see from the original movie. I love the kills. Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis is really good. I love Danielle Harris in this movie as Annie. I love the fact that she gets to survive and she's in the sequel. I love that too. Originally, Rob Zombie didn't want anyone in these movies that were affiliated with the original franchise. But after seeing and hearing her read for Annie, he had no choice but to cast Danielle Harris. She's awesome. I love her in horror movies. Actually, I love her in anything. But I love this remake. I love what Rob Zombie did. And it comes in number 12. Number 11 is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Love, love, love this movie. The whole fall setting when the movie opens up, it's just tremendous. We get to see Michael. He survived the blast along with Donald Pleasance. If you remember from part 2 in the hospital, although they're both badly burned, they survived. And this movie was brought about because, as I said, Season of the Witch pissed a lot of people off. It was a bad movie, so they had to bring the main man back. And I'm glad they did. I love this movie. Danielle Harris as J.B. Lloyd, who plays Laurie Strode's daughter. But it's a great sequel, and I'm glad we got it, and that's why it comes in at number of 11. Coming in at number 10, cracking the top 10, is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. C.J. Graham as Jason is badass. He's one of the more brutal, fast-walking Jasons there are. My favorite kill in this movie is when the sheriff gets bent backwards. That was a badass move, and it's just a tremendous movie. And like I said, they brought back Jason because part 5, we all know it was the ambulance driver who was doing the killing. Although it made money, and I actually do enjoy part 5 as a horror comedy. Jason Lives. It shows that Jason is not human. He is more of the supernatural. And I love C.J. Graham as Jason Voorhees. Number 9 is Friday the 13th, the original. I love this movie. This is what got the franchise started. Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees is phenomenal. I love the cast. Young Kevin Bacon in the movie. You got great characters. You got a great story. You got a creepy old man who's trying to scare him off because of the death curse. It's got a death curse. Yeah, I love this original movie. On my ranking of the Friday the 13th movies, I believe it's a lot higher. But as far as the 31 go, it still cracks the top 10, coming in at number 9. Number 8 is A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Number 7 is Friday the 13th Part 3. Number 6 is Friday the 13th, 2009. I love this movie. It incorporates the first 4 Friday the 13th, although Part 4 only has a little piece here and there, but you can really see they really took from the first 3 movies. They took a lot from those, but it does include a little bit of Part 4, most notably the brother coming looking for the sister, which you have in Part 4. That's really the only connection. But regardless, we get to see Mrs. Voorhees. Then we get to see Sackhead Jason, which is my favorite. And then we get to see the Masked Jason. We get to see some really badass kills. And the gentleman who plays Jason in this movie, I really enjoyed. If they ever do make another Friday the 13th movie, I think he should be able to do it, because I like what he did there. But yeah, this remake I loved. It's just a lot of fun. It's got a great story. I love what they did with it, and that's why it's high on my list. Number 5 is Halloween 2, 1981. I love this sequel. I'm on record of saying that we didn't need a movie to follow up the original 1978 movie like we got with 2018's movie. We didn't need that. In my opinion, I think they should have erased Halloween 3 Season of the Witch if you're going to do anything, and have it take place after Halloween 2 from 1981. But in all actuality, I really wish this was a sequel to Halloween H20 to eliminate Resurrection, because you can still have the same premise where this is 40 years, 40 years later, or another 20 years later from H2O. But regardless, we did get another movie. But the only thing that sucks is we have 3 movies now that are called Halloween, and it's too confusing. But regardless, Halloween 2 is a great sequel. I love it. Some of the quotes are funny. The killings are great. My favorite one is when the nurse is in the hallway talking to Jamie, and Michael comes up behind her and stabs her in the back and just lifts her up. And when she looks back, he's just holding her there up in the air, and that just shows you how strong he is and badass he is. And that's all. It comes in at number 5. It's a great sequel. Number 4 is Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. We all know this ain't the final chapter, and I've been on record of saying that if this franchise stopped with the 4 movies, it would have been a perfect franchise. Of course, it didn't. We did get a couple of good sequels after the fact, but regardless, Part 4, final chapter, Corey Feldman, he's great. Crispin Glover in his goofy ass dance. The kills were really good. And I love the gentleman who plays Jason, of course. And yeah, it's a great movie. Coming in at number 3 is my favorite Friday the 13th movie, and that is Part 2. This is the Sackhead Jason. I love this movie. Amy Steele, as everyone knows from my previous videos, that she is my favorite final girl of all time. She's badass. She takes on Jason, and I love it. I love her character. My favorite kill is the guy who takes the machete to the freaking face, Jason doesn't discriminate. He's in a wheelchair. He's vulnerable. I know how that is now. I myself, I'm in a wheelchair as well. Have been for the last 3+ years. But I love the kills in this movie, the story. It's a great sequel to the first movie. We get to see Jason's character for the first time. And yeah, it's just a load of fun and a great sequel. Coming in at number 2 is the original Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. Robert Englund, Johnny Depp. I mean, come on. The best kill in the movie, of course, is Johnny Depp. When he gets sucked in the bed and he gets spit back out. It's freaking awesome. Heather Langenkamp as the final girl. She is badass, as you all know from the movie if you've seen it. And yeah, this is a great movie. And this was the start of what could have been a awesome franchise. As y'all know, this is my least favorite of the big 3. I only like a few of the movies in this franchise. Most notably the first movie, part 3 and 4, and then A New Nightmare. But yeah, this is a great movie. If it wasn't for the number 1 movie, this would have been number 1. Y'all know what my number 1 is. That is John Carpenter's 1978 classic Halloween. This is the best slasher movie in my opinion. Some say Black Christmas would be theirs from 1974. Some say Psycho will probably be their favorite. Black Christmas, some people give Black Christmas the credit for Halloween being made. In my opinion, Psycho was the first slasher movie. Although I love Black Christmas, Halloween is the standard of all slasher movies. It is phenomenal. The tension, the suspense, everything about this movie is phenomenal. I love the acting. I love the characters. Some critics, I think the acting is subpar. I don't. I really love what we got there. Yeah, you can tell there were some first time actors or actresses, but this movie is so freaking scary, and to this day holds up. Over 40 years later, it's still kicking ass and still scaring people. And it is one of the most successful slashers of all time. And yeah, I love it. Love this movie. And so, yeah, there you have it. That is my ranking of all 31 movies from Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and Friday the 13th. And yes, in the top 3, was there ever going to be any doubt that I was going to have one from each of the franchises? They're just too good of movies to not have. Sorry about that, my throat's dry. But in the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions on my list, and let me know in the comment section below what is your ranking of all 31 of these movies, if you in fact have seen all 31. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you're new to the channel. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, and please share this video on all your social media as you see fit. I thank you guys for watching, and check you later.